Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. Women will throw sex at certain men. Women will throw it at certain men. You know, it's kind of connected why women will pay for things from a man. Sex. Let's just be real with it. Because I know a lot of guys don't think women don't want to have sex the same way men do and all of that. Oh no, women do. They just only want to have it with certain men. And if a guy get caught in a situation where he had to do all of this and jump through hoops to get sex or was rejected, nah, she just didn't want you. Because while you doing that, you know, while you spending like several $100s on a date for and being there for and, you know, driving around in your car and stuff like that, there's some guy, shoot, she going over to his house with nothing on but a trench coat and some heels. She handing it to him. She's handing it to him. He ain't doing anything. He's sitting back chilling and stuff, eating his buffalo wings or something. She coming up to him. She approaching him. Now that happens. Now, is it the majority? Once again, no. The majority of men aren't select. Or if you don't like those terms, the majority of men aren't alpha. The majority of men definitely ain't in that 20%. But when men are there, women will either blatantly hand it to him or make it herself very easy to approach. And let's quite frankly, let's forget that very easy to approach part. Let's get into the deeper aspect. Some women will get in that man's face. They would straight up tell him, oh, they want to get with him. Or if they go out on a date or something. I mean, I got so many stories about that. I got so many stories about some women just handing me the pie. Really, that's just me personally. That's just me personally. I know plenty of other guys probably get in the comments, got some stories. But the thing is, that's how women roll. When they want it. You know, that's a big thing with them. They still want it. Like this thing, I just watched this show movie last night. Everybody been talking about 365 DNI. And it was about this Italian gangster having basically trying to force this woman to love him, right? I mean, he had kind of kidnapped her and everything, but to me, it was a sophisticated porno. It really was. I mean, they ain't show, you know, that's the only difference between it and a regular porno. They ain't show the man's penis. But it was just a sophisticated porno. The plot was like, it wasn't that good a story to me. But people going crazy over it. Women going crazy over it, right? That's because they want it. And when they want sex and they see a guy that they find sexually attractive, she hands it to him. That's a big part. Like when I talk about select, non-select, people know, really follow it and read my books know I talk about Mr. Goodbar, right? Mr. Goodbar, that man who be getting it. Now, some other people might have some other names for him, you know. But whatever the case, his game ain't really chasing women. In fact, usually men who are in that Mr. Goodbar category, they're in trouble if they actually have to seduce a woman. I'm just being real with you. They in trouble if they have to seduce a woman. It's like you ask them how to seduce a woman, they be like, oh. And I actually talk about that in the most recent on-demand video I did, breakdown of the nice guys and players categories. Yeah, Mr. Goodbars don't. And you know why? Because the women handing it to them, women making it easy. Women, you know, like I said, they handing it to them. Or, you know, like I said, at the very least, they making it extremely easy. They coming up to him. They getting in his face. Like I said, I got stories. You know, I remember one of my earliest stories and stuff. A woman in college, she said, Rom, I want to take your pants down. I'm like, oh, okay. There's some good stuff, too. Or other women, they get right, you be talking with them, they like violating your space right in your face, looking at you and stuff. It's like, oh, okay. You know? Doing something, touching and stuff, flirting, be feeling all over you and stuff. Y'all ever had that? They be doing all this stuff. That's why I keep saying body game. But they will hand him and he don't have to work hard. Like I said, they probably the last people you should ask if you want to know how to actually like seduce a woman. Don't. Seriously, they not a good source. I'm just going to be real with you. And they also most likely the guys, you ask them how to get women, they like, oh, just be yourself. That's because the women handing it to them. You know, I remember when I was working at this gym around 2005 or something. I was still married too, but I remember this brother. One, he used to say it was too easy because women were always in his face. But he said, Ron, yeah, you married, but one day one of these women gonna come up to you with a plate and say they don't care that you married. They gonna hand it to you. In fact, I had to walk my wife through there because so many women were throwing it at me. Seriously. Seriously, and that's a big part. And I did a video on that before, talking about how to know if you really select. How much or how many women or how often do women throw it at you? I mean, throw it. They handing you the pie, you know, and shoot. I mean, I gave a couple instances of myself. I've seen so many times. I've seen one woman. She was at this place I used to sell books. She wanted this guy so bad she turned the table around to him and was very blatant about it. She was telling me. She was like, yeah, he fine. I'm gonna give him something. I was like, okay. You know he got a girlfriend, right? She said, that don't matter. Seriously, I was like, oh shoot. But look, that's just a reality out here. Because see, one of the things a lot of guys wouldn't understand that. And I ain't putting the guys down, but it's just a reality. Like, women do not treat men equal out here. You know? Because, like, even when I talk select, non-select, or somebody else might talk alpha, beta, people say, oh, nah, they ain't, women treat all these guys the same. No, you just in that circle where you don't see how they really do. Because, see, one thing, when women doing that, they ain't blatant about it around everybody else. They're not blatant about it. You know, most of them ain't anyway. They ain't blatant. They're keeping that on the low. And the man might not hear anything until they alone. You know, he could be in that office working with the women. And he just happened to go in the office with her and she closed the door and tell him what's up. She tell him what's up. You know? Because she wanted that bad. And shit, some men, a lot of guys in that category, the good bar, I think they can tell you when a woman kidnapped them. They try and go someplace and the woman say, oh yeah, I'll give you a ride. All of a sudden you sitting in their home or something, chilling. Oh yeah, I got some stories about that. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Certain men though. And see, understanding, like when I talked about the money thing yesterday, that's a part of the reasons they pay. Yeah, they'll pay for some just for the man's companionship and stuff, but that's one of the main things. Because what they try and do, they try and get the man interested in them. Especially if the woman don't look like all that. You know? So she'll say, oh, yeah, well, I bought you all this stuff. It ain't just being nice. See, understand something. Guys got to understand the context. If they in a relationship, like a formal relationship, she does stuff and buy them stuff, they ain't the same. I'm talking about when they ain't in a relationship and she's using that money to try to pull his attention, to try to seduce him, get his attention. Or even let him know it's not even about like a relationship. She just want that D. And she's willing to give gifts and whatever or pay for it. And it's kind of similar to what I talked about how women do engage in enculturated prostitution, socially acceptable. You know, the woman might not take money directly, but if the guy buy her gifts or give her a promotion on the job, something like that, it's the same principle. Right? So, I mean, and that's the thing guys got to get. Guys got to understand that game. Just it exists. Now, like I said, it ain't most, man. But once you understand that it does exist, then you get an idea. You see it. And then you get a perspective. And then you understand, you know what? These women ain't that hard. Because a lot of guys who would be seen as non-select, they see all this trouble from women. They see all these problems. Whereas the select guys like, oh no, the only problem they have is being bothered too much. It's like, damn, why this woman always texting me? Damn, why this woman always camped out in front of my house? I've seen that a couple times too. They couple friends in my neighborhood. They had women like sitting in front of their houses just waiting for them. And these weren't even women they had sex with. That's how much. Like women will go down and knock. Shoot, if you lived in an apartment building, I really remember I lived in an apartment building one time, a woman I knew. Late night, one Saturday night, get a knock on my door. We hadn't done anything, kissed anything at that point. Afterwards, though. But yeah, it's just a reality. Now, don't get mad about it for dudes who ain't experienced. Don't get mad, just understand it. and then just try to understand what it would take to get it there. Now, a couple people on the video I did yesterday will say, well, how can I get there? How can I get women to pay for me and stuff? And I know some people want to say, well, how can I get women to throw sex at me? What I be telling y'all the damn time? The attention I got was about my body frame. Seriously. That's how I did it. It wasn't no like rap or I did anything special. The attention I got was about body frame. Women straight up told me. It's like they liked my body. In fact, when I was younger, that was a nickname for me, the body. It's really not that difficult. Because that primal thing, when I talk that body thing, women are primarily turned on by it. When I did that video Monday where I showed that chart and that survey, even though I got some people, they still didn't want to believe it. I told you, I knew from personal experience how accurate that shit was. Why you think why I don't always feel like lifting. I haven't worked out today yet, and I'm a little tired. I mean, seriously, I might take a couple days break, and then since my gym opening back up, get back in there. Why I think I'll be back in there. That physical thing turns it on. You know, when I use the example of gigolos and male exotic dancers, it ain't saying go be a gigolo or be a male exotic dancer or be in one of those places where sex tourism go. The common denominator is always the women are paying for those bodies. They're going for those bodies. Hell, if they can hand them that sex for free, they'd do it. You take an honest look at the guys with high counts, there's always a body in there. Like legitimately high counts. So, hey. So that's it. For anybody, don't bother asking. Just watch my videos and hit the gym. Because that's the lure. They get turned on. I've seen women. I'm gonna tell you what. My favorite, and this one thing that really hit me with that body game. This was like in the early days when I was working out. I knew this woman, and she had been in the Nation of Islam at one time. Anybody know about, especially a black woman's like been in those circles? They tend to be a little bit more rational than the average woman because they're thinking about stuff more. And she had a kiosk in this mall I would always go to. This brother walked through. Now you could see him real muscular and everything. Had a tank top on. You saw all the cuts and everything. This normally rational woman went into a trance when she saw him. She went into a trance. I was like, hey. It's there. It's not that hard. And another time, another time was when my book Nice Guys and Players first came out. I was at a Black Expo in DC. Me and she was my girlfriend at the time, would become my wife. We were selling. It was when my book Nice Guys and Players first came out. First edition. All right, not first edition, but first printing of this current edition, right? And we were placed in an area with 4 crews of male exotic dancers who were selling calendars. I made my money back that day because the fee for that thing was about $900 for 2 days. $900 vending fee. I made that money back and a little bit more selling a book for $10. That's how deep it was. And there was a whole lot of women who bought the book. And some guys who were going over there checking out, because the women, they were coming over there checking out the dancers. And then some guys would come over there and see my book. I say, hey, you want to get that woman? Yeah. You know how deep that is? Seriously, it's right there. All right? So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.